North of Auckland, a call from police has SPCA Inspector Todd Neal en route to a drugs bust.
We're heading up to a property that the police have called us about. They have arrested all the occupants on suspicion of manufacture of methamphetamine or P. We're getting more and more of these sort of calls where the police are going into houses and arresting people, and they have usually got animals of some description, either cats or dogs, and quite often quite aggressive dogs.
Dogs are often used by pea manufacturers to guard their property, and today Todd's role is to remove the animal so the police investigation can continue without disruption.
Apparently the occupants won't be returning to the address even if they are bailed, so I probably will be removing the dog just so that we know that it's going to get attended to, and then they can come and pick it up from us at the SPCA.
The dog is believed to be aggressive, so Todd isn't taking any chances and has called in a dog control officer as backup.
The dog's in its kennel at the moment, so you try and approach, he comes out and tells you not to.
The P-Lab found here is thought to be responsible for a spate of ill health in the street.
There's already been reports that the neighbours of the property have been suffering from headaches and bleeding noses.
There's also concern for the dog, who's probably been exposed to the drug, so Todd and Catherine waste no time in trying to remove him.
How far does the chain come out?
It was out to about here.
Come on, bud.
The dog's believed to have been left unattended for several days.
Knock on the back of this.
Yeah, if he comes out.
Come on, mate.
Even so, he's not keen to leave.
So I might try and pull the top of the kennel off.
I'll just have a look from this side. Come on, mate. Come on, buddy.
Come on, come out.
Come on.
Come on, it's harder to get you out of
Come
when
on,
you're
mate. Come on, mate.
That's what I wanted you to do. As you can see, the dog's in pretty good condition. He's actually probably overweight, if anything. He's got a bucket of water there. I mean, he's eaten a couple of our bickies, but he hasn't, gone all out to
He's
scoff
actually
a
all
lot.
right, isn't he? Good man.
Yeah. Come on, then.
Okay, I'll just go and undo it, eh?
Yeah. Good boy.
Returning to base, Todd's anxious to get the dog cleaned up.
Basically, our policy with any animals that come in from a lab or anything like that is we give them a wash down, basically to protect ourselves, protect the animal from any further effects, if any, that it's had already. Basically to keep all the rest of the staff safe as well, that they're not going to have any adverse effects from the methamphetamine.
Alarmingly, dogs here can absorb vapours dispersed in the air during the production of methamphetamine, and for this reason the dog must be bathed.
He seems to have calmed down a bit since he's got out. I think we'll still muzzle him to bath him though.
He is in quite good condition. He's been fed and everything. You can't see his ribs. His coat's sort of quite dull. That could just be because he hasn't had a bath in a while and he's been living outside.
If his owner is released on bail, then this dog might be going home, though in the meantime he'll be enjoying 5-star accommodation at the SPCA. Across town, Kevin Plowright is on his way to Papatoetoe, where he's received a call from a woman whose property is under attack. The culprit, this cheeky peahen.
Just loose, it's just in the garden. It's just been sitting there in the garden enjoying itself.
Okay, well, might have to go and...
It's not my bed, it just wandered up my driveway. I went to walk in my lounge when I was sitting in there. So it just came up and around to the back of the house, and it's just been watching me through the window for about an hour and a half.
It's got a piece of string around its leg. Someone has tethered it at some stage. I've got my net and some cat biscuits in my pocket, and I'll see if we can get close enough to net it. Of course, it can fly, so there's a great chance that it can take off again. Good boy.
Sure enough, the peahen does a run-up,
Pretty clued up and is taken off on rooftop.
though she only goes as far afield as the next-door neighbours. Realising he could be fighting a losing battle, Kevin gives Gabby a few pointers on how to catch the bird should it return.
A good way to actually get peacocks is getting them to go after food. If you've got bread or any kind of food that it's interested in, put a little trail leading into the garage and you stay well back from it, and as soon as it's in your garage, hit the remote and shut the door down on it, and then give us a call and we'll pop out and pick it up. Might go and take a look next door and seeing whether I can do something, but it's a bit of a tricky one when the bird can fly.
Kevin's not having too much luck, but Gabby's made a sighting on the neighbour's back porch. Maybe now she won't have to put Kev's advice into practice. But he'll have to be pinpoint accurate with his net to catch her.
That's okay, little guy. Right, here's our little peahen. Someone's tethered her. Unfortunately, some people are putting birds like this in their backyards. New immigrants coming into New Zealand are bringing some of their cultural habits too. One is tethering of chickens and other birds. Certainly not the way to look after a bird. These are a farmyard animal and need the country and plenty of room to run around.
Which is exactly where she'll end up after spending a night at the SPCA village. Meanwhile, Inspector John Hedemeier has been called to a rescue of a different kind.
Okay, we've got a young pup that's locked in a car. It's been reported that the dog's been here since 9 o'clock this morning. It's not an ideal situation for a dog to be, or a pup to be left in a car. None of the windows are open, so there's a bit of a concern here. So there's no water or anything. So what I'll do, I'll just open the car up and just check out the puppy.
Worried about the welfare of the pup, John's decided to break into the vehicle, a skill he's picked up on the job. Under the law, an SPCA inspector has right of entry, by force if necessary, if they believe an act of animal cruelty or neglect has taken place.
When it is at its hottest, some dogs don't last more than 15 minutes in the car.
After opening the door, John discovers the situation is even worse than he thought.
The guy's actually chained him, so he's confined him into this space.
But that's not all.
A can of solvents next to the puppy. That's not very good. Not too happy with the situation, especially with a can full of solvents right next to the puppy, and it's quite fumey in here. So just for the puppy's sake, I'm going to take this dog, leave a notice, and the guy can contact me and discuss this matter further with the owner when he arrives.
Over the last few days, SPCA inspectors have been kept busy with all manner of animal rescues, though today is the first time they've been asked to assist a three-legged cat.
He's gone berserk on me. We thought he was gone for good, so I started to put ads out and rewards out, and he turned up last night.
Mr. Webb's attempts to catch his beloved pet have given him a bad back, which is why he's called in Kevin Plowright. The cat is currently hiding out in the garage amid a massive collection of stuff the man has collected over the years.
We can have the door shut. I don't want him shooting out. Could be anywhere in here. In fact, it can even not be in here.
Mr. Webb has a number of cats and a special affection for animals. He's even designated the use of his backyard for a pet cemetery.
Yeah, they're animal graves. It's a cemetery for animals. Pepper went first, died of kidney disease, 85, and they didn't have pet cremations then at $70 a time. I thought it was too final. It's like destroying their memory, so we buried them in little wooden caskets. You know, I have to dig a hole the size of a fridge. It takes me 4 hours to smash through the hard clay under this place. And I'm prepared to go to any lengths for those animals.
Meanwhile, Kevin's making his way through the maze of items in the garage.
It's not looking good so far.
And finally, he sights the cat.
What you up to? It's okay.
The cat's unlikely to trust a total stranger, so Kevin's put on gloves for protection.
Is she in? It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. Hang on, hang on. What's it? Oi, it's one hell of a fight for a three-legged cat. Thank God there was only 3 sets of claws happening.
Isn't there a little pain in the neck?
There we go.
Yeah.
One stressed out cat. Yeah. That just need a bit of calming down. He's a big fella.
Yeah.
Certainly pretty fiery. See how he gets on today and if he calms down, but if not,
Keep him
whistle him up with the
inside,
vets.
inside for 3 weeks, I think.
Okay, take care.
You made me feel better.
That's good. That's what we like to hear.
SPCA Inspector Sue Bourdet has a special cargo on board. It's the peahen found running loose in the suburbs. Today it's arriving at SPCA volunteer Robin Sampson's bird homestay.
So what's the history?
He was picked up by Kevin yesterday. He was found in Papatoe with some string tied around one of his legs. So we suspect somebody was possibly keeping him tethered. So the string's been removed and here she is.
Okay.
Come and hang out with your peacocks.
Robin's property is already home to a huge variety of birds, including 1 turkey, several ducks, geese, 2 peacocks and a peahen.
Yeah, I wonder what Polly the peahen will think.
Oh, you've already got a peahen.
Yeah, no, that's all right. Come on, we'll go and pop you in the pen. Just pop her in here so that the other guys can get to see her.
Yeah.
Robin's planning a gradual introduction for the latest arrival, who it's hoped will make a big impression.
Get us some food and some water.
The peahen's previous owner has clipped its wings to prevent her from flying, but they've made a bad job of it.
Look, they've only clipped those ones, so it's not going to stop her from flying at all.
Right.
To guarantee the peahen stays put, Robin clips her wings properly, so that by the time new feathers grow back, the bird will have settled in and won't want to fly away.
Just don't want you going over the fences, darling. That should be fine.
Excellent.
Here you go, sweetie
There
pie.
you go, darling.
Already, the new arrival is attracting a lot of attention.
Here comes Polly. The boys are sticking their heads out too. She may stay here if they all get on all right, otherwise I can normally find homes for them eventually. She might pair up with one of the other ones here and we'll just see how they go.
Back in the suburbs, John Hirimaia is on the trail of the person responsible for leaving a puppy chained in a car.
Okay, we're at the property with the cars. We're just at 2. It's been 3 days since since the dog was removed, and there's been no contact. So we're just here to pay a visit, and hopefully the owner's here. Doesn't appear to be anyone home, so what I'll do, I'll leave a contact notice on the door here, and hopefully they should make contact.
The puppy's owner now has 7 days to contact John, otherwise the dog will be surrendered to the SPCA and given the chance of a new, more responsible caregiver. Meanwhile, a dog unlikely to ever have that opportunity has arrived at base after being abandoned. But even worse, he's emaciated and is riddled with fleas.
When he came in, there was literally millions walking all over his body. You could actually just see them from a distance. So we've given him a bath already. So since that first bath, it's not too bad, but they're still literally crawling all over him, which is why we're bathing him again. So once I've bathed him now, we're going to put flea treatment on him and just try and get rid of them that way as well.
Freshly bathed, the dog, now nicknamed Bono, is about to be vet-checked by Jodie Selinski.
And we have washed most of the fleas off, but we're going to give it another bath.
I'm not sure what to touch right now. You've got some color to your gums, although I'm pretty sure the fleas have taken most of it. Mm-hmm. Now the other problem we have here is the emaciation. He is skin and bones, literally. So there's no excuse for that. No matter who owned him, if they came in to get him right now, we would be prosecuting. And this dog is 9 kilos. That's just silly. I just checked 6-week-old puppies and 8-week-old puppies that were getting closer to that weight. So this dog should be weighing more like 15 or 20 kilos.
The dog has multiple problems.
People don't realize, but fleas eat blood. And if you have enough of them, they can eat a good majority of your blood, especially for the younger and smaller animals, as you can really cause them to become anemic.
Jodie also thinks he has a severe case of Demodex mange and performs a test to confirm her suspicions.
There's a couple of different types of mange that are really common. One's called sarcoptic mange and one's called demodectic mange. This one that he has, Demodex mange, When they get it young, it's actually inherited from the parents. It's pretty much just a death sentence for him here. And it's going to be a death sentence probably for a lot of other animals, because since it's inherited and this guy has not been desexed, who knows how many puppies he could have fathered and how many puppies will have the condition.
Unfortunately, SPCA staff witness cases of neglect like this one each and every day.
The state that he came in, it just seems like he's never actually had a good life. And, you know, every animal needs to know that people can be trusted and that life's not as bad as what they may think it is. Considering the fact that he's probably been through hell, he's just had such a rough life, and his tail wags every time you walk in the room, and he's not completely terrified of people, and he's just, yeah, he's got an awesome personality for a dog that's been through so much.
But sadly, Bono's condition will make it almost impossible to find him a new home.
Every animal that comes in here is special in one way or another, but every so often one dog or cat, you know, will just grab your heart, and you have to at least try.
It's been a week of bizarre and challenging rescues for the SPCA, and today Vicky Border has the strangest one yet.
There's a stray cat that's caught in a fishing net, and the cat is a wild cat in the area that has been looked after by one of the neighbours, and I'm going to hopefully get it out.
After the cat became caught, the homeowner made several attempts to get it free, without success. The cat is in a severely stressed state and so badly tangled that Vicky has no choice but to destroy the fishing net.
These expensive nets?
250.
Okay.
Vicky tries to save the net, but the welfare of the animal is her first priority.
I think really we're going to have to cut it.
Yeah, that's the only way.
Sorry, I mean it's wrapped itself so severely around it, and it's just going to get so stressed.
Yeah, that's the only way we're going to try to. But yeah.
It's so stressed. It's going to end up strangling itself. It's all right. Well done. Thank you. I know. Just cover your face. If only they knew we were trying to help them. All right.
With slow progress being made, Mr. Mahoney decides to assist in the rescue attempt. And the joint effort soon proves successful. But even though the cat is now out of danger, it remains terrified.
She's a wild animal. Being in contact with humans, it's very stressful for her. Try and keep her as calm as possible.
Though when it comes to dealing with stray cats, Vicky has a word of warning.
Don't approach a wild cat. The bites, you end up in hospital, you end up with blood poisoning, you can lose fingers. So always call the SPCA if you have a wild cat trapped anywhere on your property.
Back at the SPCA village, there's bad news for the abandoned dog riddled with fleas.
His 7 days of stray time are up and no one has come forward for him. He has such a severe form of this Demodex mange. If Demodex is in a mild state, it can sometimes be cured, but in this state, we're hard-pressed to cure it. And if we do cure it initially, the likelihood that he will have relapses because of his immune system, potentially causing him a lot more discomfort in the future. We really need to put him down.
This dog was severely neglected, as was the puppy left chained in a car. His owner never came forward, despite several attempts to contact him.
The owner didn't make contact. As a result, the dog was surrendered to SPCA, and it's since been rehomed, which is a good outcome for that pup. The pup is now in a place where he's loved.
It's also a perfect result for our peahen, who's relishing her new life at Robin's Nest.
I kept her inside, penned up for a few weeks, and basically just popped her out with the others, and she was doing really well. She teamed up with the other little peacock that's here that's only got 1 foot. So I thought, well, they may as well stay together. So they're staying here at this stage. We've got Peter and Polly, and this is Pippa and Uno. I think they pretty much do stay together for life, although I don't think they're monogamous. They may have a bit of a harem, but these guys seem to be quite happy together. The girls also go and have a bit of a party by themselves occasionally, so. Her clip wings will just molt out. You can still see the end ones that are still clipped, but the other smaller ones would have come through by now, and they'll eventually just molt out. She probably won't want to fly away by that stage. I think they're basically quite happy here, and once they've got themselves a nice little spot, then they're quite happy to stay. They don't tend to wander far.